In this video, we'll review how to replace the lower control arm on a Ford Escape. First step, quite straightforward, removing the front wheel. Now, this project is one that's certainly easier done on a lift, like many projects, but it can absolutely be done in a garage or driveway. First piece, we're removing a pinch bolt. These can be rusted and difficult to get out. An impact hammer is helpful. And then we're going to push through the actual retaining bolt. An air impact hammer is helpful. Now we're going to split the front control arm. It's not as easy to see there. There is a gap in the metal, and we're simply going to impact a chisel in there to slightly separate it. A little bit of JB80 or liquid wrench is helpful, and now we're going to apply some pressure. So you can see they're going to use a very long crowbar to amplify the torque, and then while they're pushing, somebody else is going to impact that lower control arm, and it should drop right out. In the next step, we will remove the actual control arm itself. First step is removing the front bolt. And you may need to jiggle that control arm around to get it to walk out. Once it's removed, we can move to the rear bolt. That's a 21 millimeter bolt. Dropping it out. You can see in situations like this, electric impact wrenches or air impact wrenches are certainly a time saver. Now we're going to install the new control arm. This will make a marked difference in the ride quality and the tightness of the steering. Not only do you have fresh rubber in the bushings, but you also are replacing, which is most important, the ball joint at the end. So we're first going to slide it into place without tightening the bolts down, but just putting them in there loosely so that everything is lined up in roughly the right location. And there he's starting the bolt. You can see there's a lot of use of pry bars to amplify the force. And once he's in there, he's going to tighten that up just part way so everything's held in its proper location. Now, just like before, he will amplify the torque and the force to move that down and slide that ball joint in. A tap hammer, and you'll notice when he taps this up, he's not tapping on the bottom of the joint or the bottom of the ball joint because there is a zert fitting there. So he wants to make sure now he's looking through the hole to ensure that that bolt will go through. And once it's lined up, he's going to install that pinch bolt, and torque it down to 46 foot-pounds. Now, once installed, he can tighten the control arm mounting bolts in the front and then on the rear of the vehicle as well. Now, in this case, he selected an aftermarket part that does have a grease zert on the ball joint. They will last longer. Many people just forget to actually grease them on a regular service interval. So if you use one with a zert, actually take the time to grease it at every oil change. Now we're going to put the front wheel back on. Very straightforward. Anytime we're doing suspension work, it is necessary to align the car after the fact when you're complete. And by far the best way to do this is at a professional shop. For this reason, if you have a joint go off on the left, sometimes it's just as smart to replace that and fix it on the opposite side as well, so that when you get it aligned, you're done for a while. Good job to Phil and Tom Baker for videography.